go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
This is your favorite international radio network, 94.3 Radio 1 World, your station. My name is Annie, and on Green is Cool today, I am in conversation with Viren Khanna.
Green is cool.
Well, he did have a sweet job, but he gave it all up to start a society in 2014 called the New Delhi Nature Society. Viren, it is so nice to have you on the show. Warm welcome.
Hi, thank you so much, Annie, for having me on the show. And I've always been a big fan of your show. Always listen to it in the car.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this mainstream job you had, which many people really look up to and go after. Tell us something about your backstory.
Yeah, so I'm a commercial pilot. I learned my flying from USA, in Florida. And then I came back to India. We were opening a flying school in India. And then I saw how the environment in my city is getting destroyed in Delhi. Uh-huh. And I thought nobody's going to do something about it, so I should do something about it.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how I started the New Delhi Nature Society, by getting people involved, getting them to have fun in nature, because, you know, if you have a good experience in nature, then you would want other people to have the same experience, and you would want to save it.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's important to have all these workshops like tree climbing, tree hugging, nature walks, hiking, just learning the names of trees.
Oh, that is so sweet. But going back to being a commercial pilot means you'll travel the world. Being a commercial pilot also means that you are going to earn a very good paycheck. And that paycheck does pay for a lot of things, a lot of luxuries and a lot of other wealth and experiences that people usually are running after. How did you have the heart to give all that up? And how did you, or that moment you felt that, okay, you know what, really, that is nothing? Because for me, my nature is the biggest wealth. How did you decide that? How did you come upon that final decision?
Yeah, saving trees and animals is not so financially rewarding, I guess, but at least you get a good night's sleep because of that.
Sure.
And that's what, while flying, the pilots usually don't get a good sleep. They have to wake up at odd hours and go and fly. Uh-huh. But I used to see trees getting cut. No one's doing anything about it. I couldn't get sleep. I had to find out what I can do. And after I started doing things about it, then I started getting a good night's sleep.
Oh, that is so sweet.
That's what matters most.
Wow. Well, you were the chosen one, or rather, should I say, the truth is that you made the choice to save the planet, the choice to actually save people from their own misgivings. We're going to talk about tree blindness. It's a beautiful concept you came up with, and you're teaching children not only to understand trees and also adults, but of course, teaching them to hug, teaching them to connect with nature all over again. We're going to touch upon it when we come back on the other side. So don't go anywhere. This is Viren Khanna. He is the founder of New Delhi Nature Society, which he started in 2014, and since then has been trying to make green really cool. Don't go anywhere. Afternoons with Annie.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
On the show with me on Green is Cool is Viren Khanna, founder of New Delhi Nature Society.
Green is cool.
So for the past 7 to 8 years now, you have been teaching children, you've been conducting workshops and adults alike about the importance of trees. And I believe when you stepped out and started talking to people, you realized that people are really blind to trees. All they can see is the beauty of this concrete jungle that was growing rapidly and really kind of making our planet and our surrounding very hard to live in. How did you tackle that? What was your first impression when you started New Delhi Nature Society? How did you get to people to make them understand about tree blindness?
Yeah, so when I learned about tree blindness, it's already a scientifically researched phenomenon. It's researched in, I'm forgetting the name of the university in USA. So there's a scientific paper about it, and then I realized that I'm suffering from tree blindness. I didn't know the names of trees, and I had to do something about it. So by having more activities centered around trees, that's how we start recognizing trees and understanding their names and uses and things. People in the rural areas, they know about the uses and the names of all the trees around their village.
Mhm.
But in the cities, children don't know about the names of trees and their uses.
Sure.
So and then tree blindness is actually a disease where the patient is unable to see trees in their environment. Trees become totally invisible. and
Right.
Sometimes they walk into trees, they drive into trees.
Right.
If a tree is outside the house, they won't even notice that it's missing.
Right.
So if they go for walks in the parks, trees are just part of the background. They
Right.
see cars, buildings, clothing of people, but they don't see trees. So then doing these activities like tree climbing, tree hugging, this helps people to understand that when a child climbs a tree, then he starts looking for other trees to climb. And then he realizes that, okay, I can climb this, but I can't climb that. And this starts opening the eyes towards looking for trees.
Right.
Same with hugging trees. They look for beauty in trees, look for flowers, look for wildlife living in trees. And the whole of life on Earth revolves around trees.
Absolutely.
We are breathing the oxygen we are breathing is coming from trees itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So to be able to connect with trees, to be able to reconnect with what we're actually made up of, the soil, the trees obviously on the soil that give us the oxygen. So we are at the mercy of the trees. And I think we seldom realize that because we're not taught that much in schools. So it needs to change everywhere. But if that's not happening around us, at least we can learn it on our own. We can become sensitive towards this, thanks to people like you. And I'm going to talk to you now when I return on the other side about how you are taking this forward and what has been the response going forward. And has there been an increase in people's awareness about the lack of trees in the name of development? Don't go anywhere. This is Afternoons with Annie Khanna of New Delhi Nature Society that he started since 2014. And yes, pretty much along with his team of people and those they meet and train are making everything around that is green really cool. Don't go anywhere. This is Afternoons with Annie.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
On Afternoons with Annie, green is cool every Tuesday. And I cannot say enough about the fact that green is really cool. And we had lost our connection, our contact with nature.
Green is cool.
And it's very important to reconnect. And what I do with this platform is help everyone who's a voice, who's an activist, who's working in this area to connect with you, my listener. And together, I guess we can make some difference, some change, which is extremely needed these days, very, very crucial and also rewarding. Like in Viren's case, instead of flying and traveling the world, which I believe he still does. Do you find time to travel? Do you get out of the city? I mean, barring the pandemic, do you get out of the city and maybe make use of your license sometimes and just fly away?
I work throughout the year, and just the last maybe 1 or 2 months of the year I spend traveling around.
That is so cool.
The thing you were mentioning about green is cool, so that's actually how it all got started. I had to make nature a cool thing for the younger generation to feel more connected to this topic.
Right.
And by having all these fun activities, going to schools and colleges, I got a lot of positive feedback. And through these workshops, I've sort of created a giant army of people who are going to protect the environment.
That is so cool. So tell me, in these 8 years, how many people would you have seen come to you, or the army that you're talking about? Are they going ahead and talking to others? Have they started planting trees? Have they started becoming aware and also talking to others around them, building the ideology and building on the ideology that you have been propagating?
Yeah, they've been coming back for the workshops, for the different nature walks. they've started their own NGOs. They've
Nice.
started their own companies as well related to plants and nature, and even for wildlife and animal rescues. So yeah, it's like a chain reaction. I usually have half an hour to maybe 2 hours with the people who come for my workshops, and in that
Right.
much time, I have to impact their lives in such a way that it makes a big difference for the long term.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What is
I
the
make
one
my-
winning statement you have been saying to everyone that seems to have hit, bullseye? What are some of those? At least one statement that really sticks out.
Like there's a quote that says, "Children who have a positive experience in nature will fight to save it."
Yes. Yes.
So as long as I'm there to give them the positive experience, then they will want more people to have that experience, and they would never want to let go of that. So
That's beautiful.
last year I made this card game, the Delhi Trees card game.
Wow.
So when we were young, we used to play game trump cards with wrestlers and cars and motorbikes. So, but now I've made one with trees.
Nice.
So,
That's so cool.
so children. So yeah, during the lockdown, while children were stuck at home, they all got these card games and they were playing it.
That is so cool. So New Delhi Nature Society, that's what you've got to go after. I believe you are available on, your information, as well as if people want to volunteer and be a part of these sessions as well as workshops, available on social media. So that's all you've got to look for, New Delhi Nature Society. This has been a wonderful conversation, but I'm going to close it only after I do this fun activity with you. Now it's my turn to do an activity with you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Okay.
It's called the quick fire round, and some really light-hearted questions to close the conversation we've had. So don't go anywhere. It's Viren Khanna of New Delhi Nature Society on Greener School. This is Afternoons with Annie. Back to music.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
On the show with me today, Viren Khanna of Green is Cool. Well, no, he's making green cool, but he started New Delhi Nature Society back in 2014.
Green is cool.
They also have trump cards that teach you about trees and also various other merchandise. You should check it out. And yes, if you want to invite him for a workshop, well, he's willing to travel to any part, any corner of the country. Are you ready for this activity with me, Viren?
I'm ready. I'm a little bit nervous. But yeah.
Okay. I love it when my guests say they're nervous. Okay, let's start with
Okay.
what is something you've done in the year 2021 that made you feel extreme happiness?
We revived a lake in South Delhi, and that was
Wow.
one of the biggest achievements I've done till now.
That is so cool. Reviving a lake, huh? How big was the lake?
It's about an acre big. It's in South Delhi, New Prince College. And for 20 years, there was no lake over there. And by looking at old satellite images and connecting with the authorities, with the court and everyone, we finally got the lake back.
That's sweet. What is a movie you watched recently on any OTT platform? Or maybe if you had the chance to go to a theater, you watched it and you really loved it.
This movie, Don't Look Up.
Oh, you did! You had to,
Yeah.
right? Moving on. If you listen to music, and here I am specifically talking about international music, who are some of the artists you're currently listening to? Give me two names.
So I listen to different types of music. I mean, for workout, I listen to hip hop. For at the parties, we listen to electronic music.
Nice.
So
Okay. Okay, you've got a varied interest, and that's really cool. Okay, knowing what you know today, what advice would you like to give your 16-year-old self, Viren?
okay, that's a tricky one. Don't worry, and everything. Everything always falls into place.
Nice. Where is your happy place, Viren?
Out in nature, in the forest, that's where I feel most comfortable. And there's a quote which I read somewhere that says, "You cannot be in the forest and in a bad mood at the same time."
Okay. Now, what job are you terrible at?
Maths.
What's the one thing you'd like to change about yourself?
I think this year I'll be focusing more on my fitness. Last year, I mean, it's a New Year resolution for everyone. I think everyone goes for the.
Sure thing. 2 more to go. If past lives are real, what was yours?
My past life, I don't know, I think, I was probably doing something revolutionary maybe, and I've got some unfinished business to do in this life.
Sweet. Okay, last question. If you were given a chance to explore the oceans, go to the moon and visit 50 countries, which one would you choose and why?
So I guess my final answer would be the ocean.
Oh, the oceans it is. Lovely.
Magical world.
Yes.
The way the ocean floor comes alive, there's no technology that can do such kind of visual
artistry.
Yeah, visual artistry.
That is beautiful.
That's nature. That's what nature is doing.
Absolutely.
There's no batteries included, no internet required.
This has been a beautiful conversation with you, Viren. And thank you so much for doing all the good work you are doing, for making green a school.
Thank you so much, Annie. I hope you can join us on a tree climbing workshop sometime.
Oh, yeah. I will try and do that. Green School with Viren Khanna of New Delhi Nature Society. You should check it out. With the continuing surge in COVID-19, I guess we are back to staying safe, back to following every single protocol we are asked to, and back to not being ill at all. Just stay healthy, please. With that, I've come to the end of the show. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon. It is called Afternoons with Annie on 94.3 TD1 One World, your station. Bye-bye.